Here's a few wide receivers I'm looking to drop heading into week 13. The first guy's Hollywood Brown. He's not getting dropped enough. I know this week he might have a bigger role. This ball game now pushed back to Wednesday. So who knows if this game's even going to be played. It just keeps getting pushed back. But anyway, Hollywood Brown, he's been horrible. He hasn't had a double-digit fantasy day since week 5, and he's had horrible games. Week 8, 1 catch, 3 yards, a touchdown. Week 9, 3 catches, 38 yards. Week 10, 2 catches, 14 yards. And Week 11, 3 targets with no catches. It's time to get rid of Brown. He's not getting targets. He's not getting open. He's not doing much. And this Raven team, they're a mess now. Half the team's out with the virus. I don't know what's going on here. So Hollywood Brown, I would just drop him. He's still owned in a whopping 73% of leagues. And that number, it's got to go down. This guy, you can't trust him. He's not getting the looks, so shy away from him and get rid of him. The second guy is Darius Slayton of the New York Giants. Slayton, I know he's the number 1 over there, or 1B, whatever you want to call it. But he had a shutout ball game. Now Daniel Jones is down, and he's out for who knows, probably at least a few weeks with the hamstring. And now with Colt McCoy in there, this Giant offense is going to be very conservative. I believe a lot of running and short underneath routes. And Slayton, he's a mediocre receiver, and he's up and down as well. And then to get the goose egg on 2 targets in Week 12, I just can't trust him. There's better options. He's a guy, even if you have him, are you really going to start him unless you're in a desperate need or deep league? So Darius Slayton, I'm going to drop him more because of his quarterback situation. And McCoy, he's not really going to stretch the field to look for this guy deep. And we saw that yesterday. So drop Darius Slayton. And the third guy, I thought he would have a good game and he would be a good strategy here in week 13, week 12, but it didn't work out, and that's Kendall Hinton. He was a total mess. I thought he would put up a better game, and the Broncos would give him more chances than throwing the ball a few times. He had 13 passing yards with 2 windows, 2 rushes attempts, and 7 yards. The Broncos, I know they couldn't game plan, and they didn't have all their quarterbacks, but still, this guy, they should have ran some quick routes and short plays and even wildcat with him. I thought he'd be a 1-week good wonder, a guy that was starting at quarterback and you could play a receiver or flex, but that wasn't the case. I knew it was a 1-week deal with him, but he got owned in 30% of leagues. But now the Broncos, they're not going to use him. This guy, I don't know if he'll ever play in an NFL game again. But anyway, Kendall Hinton, he could be dropped onto the waiver wire. Fourth and final receiver that cuts Will Fuller of the Houston Texans. Fuller, we just knew he got suspended for PED use, so his season's over. He's done for 6 games, and Fuller, he was having a great fantasy season, but now he got caught, and this is it for him. He's a free agent. We'll see if he goes back to Houston or whatever the deal may be, but anyway, Will Fuller, he's done, and he's the fourth and final guy I'm going to drop. Unless you're in a dynasty or keeper league, you keep him, but in a redraft league, you cut him loose. So that's a few receivers I'm looking to drop heading into week 13.